Human trafficking is modern slavery, and it's one of the worst social issues that's rarely ever thought about. Understanding the concepts of human trafficking and the current state in the world and the organizations combating this evil are vitally important to ending this slavery. Human trafficking is to be defined, the current situation explained, and an introduction to the organizations fighting this evil. There are many valid sources on this, many valid sources based on books, articles, and organizations that have written on this important topic. According to Human Trafficking and Modern Slavery, Law and Practice, first edition, Bloomsbury 2018, human trafficking is the exploitation of a person by using their physical labor, their sexual acts, or harvesting organs for the profit of another person or group of people. Labor trafficking is the harboring, transportation, and recruitment of a person to perform a service by the use of fraud, debt, and force. Sex trafficking is the recruitment, the provision, and the movement of a person for the purposes of commercialized sex induced by force or coercion. Human trafficking doesn't just occur in other countries, but here in America, with sex trafficking being the more predominant. Now that I've defined what human trafficking is, let me go on and tell you about what the current situation is. According to the PolarisProject.org 2020, the trending, 25 million people are currently enslaved to human trafficking. Human trafficking is the second fastest growing crime in the criminal industry. On average, every 2 minutes, a child is bought or sold for traffic, and their age on average is just 13 years old. 80% of the sex trafficking victims are female, and over half of them are under the age of 18. Modern technologies has aided the traffickers and helped them in recruiting by using the internet and social media sites such as Facebook and Instagram. Now that I've explained the current situation, let me tell you about some of the signs and organizations that are fighting against this evil in the world. According to EndSlaveryTN.org 2021, there are 4 signs to identify a human trafficking victim, which would be physical, possessions, behavior, and lack of control. The physical can be seen in the victims generally have a lot of bruising and cuts. Possessions, they just don't have a lot of possessions, and often they're seen wearing the same clothing. The behavior, they're confused and they do not trust authority figures. And lack of control, they don't go places by themselves, and they generally don't have identification or paperwork. The organizations that are working on this are the Polaris Project, the Blue Project, End Slavery Tennessee, along with the FBI, TBI, and local law enforcement. In conclusion, understanding the concepts of human trafficking, the current state in the world, and the organizations combating this evil are vitally important to ending this slavery. Human trafficking is the exploitation of a person by using their labor, their sexual acts, or harvesting organs for the profit of another person or group of people. There are 25 million people enslaved to human trafficking. And the signs are physical, possessions, behavior, and lack of control. The good news is there are many people being freed and saved from this evil practice every day, thanks to some of the wonderful organizations like the Polaris Project, the Blue Project, End Slavery Tennessee, along with the FBI, TBI, and local law enforcement.